Did you play a festival here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That is one of
Yeah.
the rowdiest festivals
I
as
was
well.
about to say that,
Yeah.
and that was another memory that
Longitude.
stuck with me. So Longitude for sure. I remember I was performing like a ballad. It had no drums, and people were just moshing and
Yeah,
just
yeah. That festival is crazy.
yeah,
Like Longitude's just known for just
yeah. It
like
was beers flying in the air. We were like, this is soft music, but the set is lit. What up? I'm Black, and this is District Magazine.
You said you've been in Ireland for a little bit. You been Ireland before?
This is my second time in Dublin.
Nice. You done any exploring? You got any memorable moments from Ireland?
Food is normally like my number one priority. So I had a really good meal at a place called Grano.
Damn, I live just up the road from
Yeah,
Grana. Yeah, the
yeah,
Italian place.
yeah.
Yeah. Who
Yeah.
told you about that? That's a good pick.
I just do my searches. So,
Nice.
yeah.
I was gonna say that's like a local pick as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good pick.
Yeah. So yeah, food is normally number one priority. And besides that, we watched the Super Bowl last night at a bar that was like down the street.
Nice. So you're around in Stony Batter then? Yeah, that's literally just you're out in the suburbs. Nice. I like that. What did you have in Grano? Do you remember?
I had the ragu. Sorry, the ragu was my main dish. I can't remember the name of the starters that I had, but there was one that was kind of like a sausage, but it was made into a spread, and you can like put it on bread, and it had a spicy like chili
Like
type
an
of.
India kind of thing.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
That was good. And then there was another thing that was like this circular like piece of bread, and the outside of it was super crunchy, almost like a cracker, but there were tomatoes like on top of it, and the inside of the bread was soft. So
Damn, I live right next to that place, and I've never been in there. It's like a 3 months waiting list.
Yeah.
Honestly,
the
sick.
crazy thing is sometimes you really just have to go. Like I saw the reservations had no slots at all. I called them, asked if they take walk-ins. They said, whatever, sometimes every now and then. And I just pulled up, walked in, and they were just like, yeah, you can have this table right here. And I was like,
Damn, nice. So is that what you do then? Like city to city, you have a look.
yes, I'm
What?
always looking for good food, always looking for like, I think food helps me like remember where I was like more than anything else. Like besides people, the meals that I eat, I think that it's a good tale of just like, okay, I remember being there because I remember having this really great meal.
So I wanted to ask you first of all about like Atlanta, and it feels like Atlanta is just taking over the world at the moment. What do you think? Like, what's in the water there? What's going on? Why is everyone loving Atlanta?
I think that there are just a lot of like really, really creative people and good ideas, and like just there's a huge creative energy, in Atlanta, from the clothes that people wear to the lingo to the music to the food. There's so much to pull from and be inspired by. So I think that might be why the music is as strong as it is. It's just a lot of different inspirations to pull from.
And obviously, you moved around in Atlanta. You grew up in Atlanta. I was looking back and looking at the battle rapping days. Can you tell us a little bit about your battle rapping career, if you want to call it that?
Yeah, I started off, well, first with poetry and then with rap and battle rap. It started to grow from that. And for me, it was more like the best tool that I could have had to just like really exercise my songwriting skills at an early age, because maybe I didn't know how to like actually write songs, but growing my vocabulary and being able to think on the spot and being able to rap in front of people, like it was a developing portion of my life for sure. So I would write as much as I could possibly write, freestyle as much as I could freestyle, and just like work my brain muscles until I made it to the point where I was just like, cool, if I'm going to school and I hear anybody raps, then I'm rapping. And if they say they can rap, then I'm going to have some kind of essence of, I think I can rap better, or I think I can win over more people. So the competition part started to creep in. And that was during the time where I was watching a lot of battle rap online. So it was like Cassidy and Reed Dollars and Murder Mook and Serious John. It was a whole bunch of stuff. So it was a really good tool for me to just exercise being a writer at an early age. And I think I had a pretty good run. I maybe only remember like losing a battle rap like once or twice maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna get onto that. I saw that you lost once and you got into a fight over it.
Yeah.
What happened there?
That was just like somebody who was literally like my brother. I was one of my best friends. It was started off casual, and it was just one of those moments where the way that he would like laugh as he was rapping like at his own jokes, and everybody else starts laughing too, and you just like, I'm not really feeling the way that this feels, and it just kind of moved on from that moment. I'm just like, all right, well, I guess we're gonna have to fight about it, cause
Wasn't enough.
yeah. It got a little bit too embarrassing for me, and that was, the ego just kind of checking in and being like, nah, not in front of my friends. Nah.
Well, I saw another video where you were battling Young Thug back in the day. How did that go? Do you remember that?
It's crazy because that video, a lot of the time it gets kind of like posted as a battle, but it was never really like an actual rap battle. It was they were having a video shoot in Atlanta, and during that time period, I used to just pull up with the group of people I was in a music group with, and anytime someone would have a shoot or an event, we would just pull up and just say, we rapping, or just start rapping and just, and have people like listen and, say, either sometimes they say something back, sometimes they just listen, but it was more so just to almost like introduce yourself, to people in a way that isn't like, hi, my name is so-and-so. It was more like, we're going to start rapping, they're going to come over here, and it'll turn into like something. That's how we met people back then.
And do you remember like how did that reaction go from Young Thug and all of them?
It was cool. If you look at the video, he was, I always felt like he had the aura of like an A&R or something. Like if you watch him in the video, he's kind of like just listening and nodding his head like, okay. And fast forward, years later, we end up being friends and working together, and just a really cool like full circle type of moment.
Coming up after the rap battling, and you've kind of like talked about it there, having like a certain level of like integrity and determination, and obviously you had like that record deal, and like ended up being on the streets and things like that, and having like a difficult time whilst you had this record deal. How do you keep yourself going through a time like that?
The main thing for me was just knowing that like no bad moment, like regardless of what it is, if it's music, if it's a relationship, like no bad moment truly like has to last forever. So as stressful as like certain times it might have been, I always had a clear sight of like what could be next, or what will be next if I do a certain amount of work. So for me, it was just like put the work in, and your life will continue to like change, and God will continue to watch you, and these things that you like worry about will like disappear in thin air.
No, that's great. I completely agree. I said I wanted to get onto some Spillage Village stuff. Obviously, how has it been seeing like all of you kind of come up, and the evolution of yourself, and the likes of JOD, Jid, Earth Gang. Yeah. I mean, what's that been like to kind of come up as a family almost? It's
cool. I think the best way to do anything is with friends and with family. We started off at their crib, the Spill House, and that was during the time where I had no house at all. So I was just kind of hopping around, staying wherever I could stay. So I was with my friends, somewhere on the other side of town. And then I would go over to JID's crib and post up there. He'd be going to work sometimes. I'd be still at the crib just like cooking up. He'd come back from work. I have a few songs. Olu, Doc, they would be there. And Reeves, Mariba would come through. India Sean would come through. I feel like during that time there were so many people that came in and out of that house, and there was so much going on in Atlanta. To see your friends like graduate with you is just like the icing on the cake, as far as like doing music goes, because it really happened for most of us like around the same time. Like I signed to Interscope, and then JID signed to Interscope, and Dreamville, and Mariba signed to Interscope, and it was just like back to back to back. All your friends just end up at the same place. So it's dope to do it with your friends, and to remember like how far we made it.
I mean, like going back to like that battle rap kind of cadence and stuff like that. Would you ever bring like a hard bar album out?
For sure. I definitely want to do a rap album. I'm not sure what the timeline is on it, but I do feel like that itch has been like growing more and more lately. So I've just been writing. I think that's like a thing that I used to do a lot, and as I worked myself to where I am, I started to write a lot less, because it just felt more natural for me to just do things in my head and do things in the moment. But now I'm at the part where I'm like, I think I want to put pen and paper again and just like start to write, because there's definitely a rap album like somewhere on the horizon.
Who would you pick for features?
I mean, obviously JID. Smino would be really dope. Who else are some of my favorites right now? JID, Smino, Isaiah Rashad. I would love to do something else with Cole. Kendrick is obviously like a dream feature. Those are some of the people off the top of my head that I can think of.
Yeah, that would go crazy. Yeah. Who is your favorite collaborator so far then, do you think?
Oh, that's a hard one. Well, on a list of her own. My partner Quinn is, my favorite person to do things with, because it's just a really special connection anytime that we get to make music together. I think most people think like if you make music and you're dating somebody that makes music, that you just make music together all the time, and it's not really the case. It's like it's something to figure out. Like being vulnerable in front of somebody who knows everything about you is like a little bit of a head scratcher. So anytime we figure it out, it just feels really, really refreshing. And then besides that, honestly, all my friends. So that's JID, Kaylani, Snow Allegra. Nobody knows that I have a song with Snow, but yeah. Besides the song that she has out, and a little bit of everybody, man. It's like all the Afrobeats artists that I've collabed with, Rema, Omale, Fireboy. Like it just ranges because I really just enjoy like stepping into other people's world and like figuring out my place. So you're saying
you were a really big Wizkid fan as well?
Yeah, for sure.
You're enjoying Wizkid? Yeah, that would go crazy. That would go crazy. Black and Wizkid. Obviously, you've just come off the Grammys, so you were there and stuff. What is your opinion on the Grammys?
Overall, it was an honor to to be recognized and to be nominated for something that isn't like made for the radio necessarily, or made for playlists necessarily, or made for like anybody else's taste besides my own. Like it was a journal entry type of album for me. So to kind of like have my head down and to be in my own world, and then to look up and like have a recognition for it, I'm just like, it's really cool and it's really dope, and it reminds me to just like continue to do exactly what I'm doing no matter what anybody else says. So it was an honor. It's the icing on the cake also, and that's our 4th nomination out of 3 projects. It's pretty good.
That's pretty good. You can't complain about that. I was doing some digging, and I saw like an AMA you did on Reddit about 7 years ago, and it seemed like you had like visions for yourself, but also like a level of staying humble and kind of trusting in the process. Do you think that process has kind of led you to where you are now?
For sure. I think that anytime you are centered and anytime you stay grounded, beautiful things can happen. And I would never ever want to like evolve into a different type of person. I've seen the results. I've watched enough from peers and strangers. What happens when you let attention or money or materialistic things like take hold of you and like steer your life. So for me, it's just like what matters the most, and for me is taking care of myself, taking care of home, and if I have something creative to share with the world, then taking care of the people who listen to me.
And like obviously I think that AMA was about 7 years ago. Did you have your daughter about 6 years ago?
Yeah,
I think yeah.
She'll be 7 in about a week.
So do you think that's kind of helped you as well, stay kind of grounded and stay focused and things?
For sure, having a kid definitely puts things in perspective, and it pushes you to continue to grow up and to be honest. So yeah.
Cool. We were talking about collaborators. I want to talk about one specific cosign, the LeBron clip. I mean, what was your initial reaction when you see that LeBron clip, the Yabba Dabba Doo?
Yeah, it's hilarious because LeBron is like, first he's a GOAT, and then second of all, his relationship with music and with hip hop is a very, very special one. So it was more than funny when I saw the clip, and to be so sure of yourself, even when you're saying the wrong words, is like, it's an acquired taste. Like you gotta respect it. You have to.
Listen, if LeBron says the wrong words, those are the words.
Yeah, like
those are the words.
Like what are we talking about?
Any specific highlights that you remember from around Europe?
Let me think. Highlights from Europe. I remember when I used to talk down on Nando's, and now I abuse Nando's. So that's definitely a highlight.
We're the same. We got a black card.
Yeah.
Our office a black card, and we're in there every day. This man, it's like a dinner date.
I'll be at Nando's today. So
we might see you in there.
That's definitely a highlight. Trying to think of what else. You mean food or just in general?
Just in general, anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, like traveling is my most favorite part of doing music. Besides creating and touring, just the actual act of traveling, I think, is like currency almost. It's like a lot of people don't get to do it, and to be able to go new places and walk and look around and stare off into space and eat good food and talk to people or just watch people. I'm just like, I enjoy learning about places that I'm from, that I visit, and yeah, I think that's like the best part of like being over here in general, is I really get to see like another side of the world.
Do you have any memorable fan interactions that stick out from your times traveling?
I would say like the first time I went to London, it like that was when it really set in that music travels. So just the reaction from that first show was enough to stick with me forever. And then also Berlin, that was like probably one of the rowdiest shows. My first one there, that was like the loudest. Like they were banging on the stage saying black, 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 and I was just like, what the fuck's going on out there? And yeah, that stuck with me just because like I think in the States that I have really amazing and beautiful shows at home for sure, but there's a filter over people in the States, and they think about things that don't really matter, like when they're supposed to be having fun. So like, don't step on my shoes, or this is my good outfit, or I don't want to look too crazy in front of everybody, or I'm too cool, or it's like all these different things that people think about over there, to where there are moments where you have to literally be like, if you're preventing yourself from having fun right now or thinking about anything extra, just like shake it off, let it go. And you have to remind them, because I come over here and it's night and day almost. So it's like if my shows in the States are a 9 out of 10, then the ones here are 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I get you. And I think I vaguely remember, I didn't do any research on this, but did you play a festival here? Yeah, I remember that. That is one of the rowdiest festivals.
I was about to say that, and that was another memory that
Longitude.
stuck with me. So besides London, besides Berlin, Longitude for sure. I remember I was performing like a ballad. It had no drums, and people were just moshing.
Yeah. That festival is crazy, honestly. Like, Longitude's just known for just
it was beers flying in the air. We were like, this is soft music, but the set is lit.
I think Irish people as well. I think like maybe this is like Irish versus American. Americans are spoiled, you know. I feel like we definitely appreciate the artists when they come over. It's like, you made this journey, you've come over. You know, you're taking the time to give us love and show us, you know, the passion that you have for music.
That's how it's supposed to be.
For sure. Okay, closing it out then. I don't know how much you can talk about this, because obviously we're in the belly of the beast. But how do you feel about the UMG TikTok thing?
That's always a very, very interesting thing to observe. And honestly, like, I step outside of being an artist and kind of look at it. I think that it is in everyone's best interest, in, you know, whether it's UMG, whether it's TikTok, whether it's all these other streaming platforms, to remember that the most like unfair, you know, position in this whole entire scheme of things right now is, you know, as an artist, it's just being an artist. So you know, I appreciate, you know, UMG trying to fight for us for sure, but I think that there are a lot of bigger fights that, you know, people should definitely pay attention to. And this game has been like growing, and you know, I've had an amazing relationship at Interscope and with UMG, so I don't have any like personal grievances, but like I said, as an outsider, I'm just like, let us never forget that there's a lot more, you know, as artists, you know, that we deserve. And
and that goes a lot wider, like with streaming, you know, Spotify and
all
things
across
like that.
Everybody, talking to every single body out there.
Yeah.
There's so much more that we can do to protect artists, to ensure artists, to stand up for artists, support artists. I think that we have been trailblazers, and we have been trendsetters, and we have been money bringers for a very, very, very long time for a lot of people. So I think it kind of relates to, it's the same as like people who do any other kind of service in any other kind of field. Is like, there are certain things that I wish, you know, more people had in a place. Like, every label should have a therapist. You know, every situation that you go into should have some kind of healthcare, you know, benefits for it. So I'm just like, let's focus on some things, you know, like if we're talking about protecting and supporting us, then let's see, you know, everything that we can do, and let's not like minimize it to just streams or just platforms. Like, let's do more.
For sure. And that's great chat. Great insights, great chat. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Cheers. Appreciate it, man. Sorry. There you go.
I forgot when I'm over here, it's the pound.
Yeah. That was great.